All right, everyone, this is my compost bin. This is a pipe that goes through it. This was handmade by a very close friend of mine, and she gave me this about 12 years ago. On Amazon, they have similar type, but nothing quite like this. So many people have asked me over the years, where do you buy this? You can't buy it. She made it. But let me show you. So this here has the venting, and this is a piece of screen. That way mice don't get in here. But like I said, Amazon does sell similar type. This is extremely old. So here's the lid. I compost lots of things. I compost eggshells, all kinds of things like that. I would strongly suggest you buy a book and read about composting, or you do a lot of research on it. You need equal, you need wet, and you need dry. In other words, if you're gonna put wet stuff in, you also need dry to balance it out. This will take me a year. So I have previous videos where I showed with everyone how I take all of the compost out and it's beautiful soil. I'll share that video right here or here, and that way you can see it. All right, so let me show you here in a minute what it looks like inside. There's absolutely no smell. No smell whatsoever because you have the wet and the dry. So there's carrot peelings in here, there's potato peelings in here. As you see, I have cardboard shavings in here. I also add a little bit of chicken manure to help get it to get really hot so it does compost. And we're going to go like this. Now this compost is really dry, so I am going to flip it because we're supposed to get rain today. And that way a little bit of rain will help make it wet. All right, now we're done. We have this up so that way when the rain hits, the rain will go in here. And then with the hot summer sun, just like that, you're gonna have it cooking. And I'm gonna discuss a little bit more about composting for all of you. So what can you compost and what can't you compost? You don't wanna compost anything with meat or fatty grease or anything like that. No meat byproducts. That will become rancid and then you'll have a really mess on your hands. You want to make sure your compost bin or your compost area gets a lot of hot sun, because the sun is what cooks your compost and it makes it ferment, so to speak, and then it becomes into like soil. Also, what else you want to do? I do put every once in a while a little chicken manure in it. That really works amazing too because it does produce more heat. I'm going to go ahead and clean out my chicken house, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of the unconventional ways that I save money. So one of the ways is we do not buy any more chicken bedding like pine shavings. We use shredded cardboard. Now I do a lot of videos on my shredded cardboard, and as the summer goes by, you are going to be amazed at my garden. We have ample rain now, and my garden is absolutely gorgeous, and all of these shavings now are starting to really decompose. And when we add it with the chicken manure, so I clean out my chicken pen in the fall, and then we add that to the garden, it has producing more worms than I have ever seen in the 12 years of living here. We have red worms, we have big worms, oh, not that big, but you know, big worms. We have all kinds of worms, and it's making our soil so much better. I misspoke one day when I said about the shavings bringing nutrients to the soil. The shavings themselves do not bring nutrients to the soil, but when the shavings break down, that makes your soil looser, which creates more worms. And worms make amazing nutrients to your soil. So composting is one way that we keep all of the food out of the landfills as much as we possibly can. We don't throw away food in the landfill. I bet you maybe less than 2% of our food is ever thrown away to a landfill. If we have leftovers, we give them to our chickens. If we have leftovers, we eat them. I am very much against food waste. I think anybody who's watched any video of mine will know that food waste is a big no-no for me. I do not waste any food whatsoever. Any food. I mean, I can't imagine any food that I waste. If I do, it would be like I said, 2%. You know, I guess I can't say I don't throw away any food, but not much of it. So I'm gonna clean out the chicken house, and then I am going to gather my eggs. And with composting, it's something that you learn, and you learn through mistakes and trial and error. But I love my compost because it's just another way to not be a part of the system. When we get used to the system, what happens is when the system fails, we are left just wondering, what are we going to do? And I believe in my lifetime, the system will fail at some point. Whether the system fails because of lack of electricity, because of, you know, the weather, or because of economics collapse, which I do believe will happen in my lifetime, or anything. The more you focus and the more you rely on the system, the less you are reliant on yourself, and then the less assured you are. In other words, when I bought this house and we had the plumbing issues, I threw myself into this big panic. I had anxiety attacks, I had so much panic. But then I realized that, okay, there is more ways to do things. And I learned to think outside the box. There was times when we didn't have electricity, because I lived my everyday life because I knew how to live without electricity. And so while I am learning to use things and do things without the system, it is nice to have the system. It's nice to have plumbing. It's nice to have hot running water. It's nice to have air conditioning. I didn't use it yet though this year, but all these things are nice and they're great to have, but it's always good to know how to do without. And one of the things I am really trying to work on saving money is finding ways of using things for free instead of spending money. Whether you save money because you have to, because you have no money, or whether you save money because you need to, because you want to save your money because of retirement, of age, or because you have some large bills you need to pay. It doesn't really matter the reasons why you save money. It's learning how to save it. Every single one of us has a household, has different reasons why we have to save our money. I'm saving my money for many reasons, not just one. One is I'm not a rich girl. Two is I need to save my money so I can fix some more things in my house. And three is I want to save money because look at me, I'm 53 years old. I need a retirement plan. While I do have a retirement plan, I realize it's getting more and more expensive to get old, you know? Now, every once in a while, I get a fluster of people when I talk about my Amazon boxes and shredding them. And I want to tell you, I did contact Amazon, and I shared in previous videos their declaration of claiming that the boxes are soy. So the boxes, the ink is soy ink, and the boxes themselves are biodegradable. I am not a scientist, and I am not spending thousands of dollars to analyze the boxes. I'm just going by what they say. And you know what? It's saving me a lot of money, and that is my bottom line. So I'm going to continue to use these boxes. These boxes are actually shredded by our son. He gets a lot of Amazon because he is an affiliate with them, and he shreds them using a commercial shredder. Now the commercial shredder I think was $250, but he's had that now about 7 years. He shreds them up for me, and it saves me money. He gets to get rid of them, and I am happy. And chickens are so fussy. Oh my goodness. I think they're trying to let me know that, come on mama, clean out our house, and so we can have some fun and rest. And by the way, in the course of a day, there's always a chicken laying an egg. One of the things I forgot to add is most of the farmers in our area, they use shredded cardboard. they have commercial shredders and they use it for their cattle, for their dairy cows. We have many places here local to us that at the end of their driveway, they're asking for newspaper or cardboard or things like that. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to shred plastic. Two, you don't want to shred any kind of newspaper. The inserts that have the glossy print on them, you don't want to do that. But newspaper, just regular black and white newspaper, cardboard boxes, they do amazing. And my chickens are really happy because the cardboard is actually softer when they sit and roost than it is having those pine shavings that are actually really scratchy. Now, of course, in the wintertime, we will have straw and very warm bedding for them because straw is very warm and it helps insulate them. But in the summertime, the cardboard is so much cooler for them at night. All right, I got all of my eggs and I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow because it's gonna be something different. I can promise you that. Bye, everybody.